This is Transformers: The Hunt for the Decepticons. Hailstorm. Hailstorm is a Decepticon. He is a deluxe class figure and is part of Wave 2 of the Hunt for the Decepticons deluxe class line. You see a short, pug-sized Decepticon, more like a grunt. I think he would be a grunt in the Decepticon infantry. And I don't know, I have no problem with this figure. A lot of people have been complaining about his robot mode. He's too short, he's too small, and these missiles are just somebody feels like somebody just slept and missed out on how to do missile launchers. But I don't know. This figure, I saw pictures of him when he was still being showcased and previewed on various conventions like the Toy Fair in New York, and BotCon, and I like this guy. I mean, and I've not been disappointed since, especially now that I've figured out how the articulation on this guy works. There are additional joints on his elbows, and you can position his shoulders to allow the large bulk of the shoulders to avoid some of the panels on his shoulders. The leg articulation is just fantastic, despite being despite the legs being a little bit short for a deluxe class figure. But you know, overall, this thing is a wonderful figure, and you know, I'm not complaining about it. Anyway, here he is. He's got a huge backpack with sort of like a grill, and we'll see how that thing works a little bit later on. Let me just stand him up for you so you can better appreciate him. Now, this is really the point of contention with some fans, and saying that he looks impish or like an ogre. I don't know, like a small-sized ogre. I don't know. But getting him in robot mode properly will make him look like this. I mean, in standing up mode. And these cannons, they actually tab into the shoulder pegs just to keep them from moving. And I can imagine people complaining about how long the arms look, how this thing looks so ugly. But I don't know. It works for me. I mean, yes, Hasbro could have improved this somehow, but it is what it is. It is a movie. It's part of the movie universe, the Transformers movie universe, and therefore you'll get a lot of asymmetry and a lot of odd shapes and lines with this figure. Anyway, he sort of reminds me of the Hulk. Huge torso with shorter than usual legs. For some reason, I'm sort of comparing him to the Hulk. Also, his neck can crane up if you wish to make him appear a little bit taller, but it just looks so awkward because his shoulders rotate here on this line, and the neck should just be a little bit lower. And articulation on the neck is a ball joint, which once you put it down, you bring it down, you're only given an up and down motion and no side to side. He can tilt it because it's a ball joint, but that's it. It's kind of creepy. Anyway, he could pass for Megatron's Mini-Me. Anyway, so that's that. Fantastic paint apps, as you can see. I don't even need to talk about it. Just great. And just before I forget, the articulation I'm talking about for the elbow, it's a ball joint here, and it's a hinge joint here, loosely because of transformation. So he can pose his hand like this, like, darn it, Autobots. Anyway, so that's that. So great paint detail here and there. Yeah, he could use a few more, but you could do it yourself if you wanted to. So just as a bit of a size comparison, I'm going to compare him with another short figure. Well, shorter than usual. Here is Deluxe Ironhide, and as you can see, Hailstorm is really, really pug-sized. Okay. He's really short, but given the amount of bulk he has, I think it's justifiable. Alright, So very nice. I like this green color. You know, I'm hoping Takara is going to do it in a more metallic green, but he's got a lot of metallic paint apps here and there. That's fine. Okay, and then to fire the rockets, he's got a Star Wars rocket launching system, and not the best thing in the world. I wish Hasbro could have made a mechanism that when you push the button, all four would fire. But this thing is like the I call it Star Wars because if you buy the Hailfire droid, oh, Hailstorm and Hailfire droid, you'll get rockets something like this, looking like that. And you can still fire the rockets even in alt mode because the pegs extend way up here, which we'll see later. So enough talking about the bot mode. Just wait. Yeah, there. And let's get him into his alt mode. First thing you want to do, you want to go ahead and fold this thing up. Just join them together like that. Okay, that'll allow you to swing it backward. Now open the cage and lock in the long elongated pegs, and then just fold in the cage, and that's that. Next thing you want to do is, oh, you want to go ahead and you want to move the torso, the collar joint up like that with these two struts right there. Can be a bit of a chore, but you just have to do a little bit of wiggling like that, and then just squeeze the arms up, and it will raise the whole neck area, neck assembly. Just make sure it's aligned so that you don't mess this thing up. Okay, yeah, then you go ahead and fold the head like that. Okay, and then what you want to do is unpeg the waist piece like that, and then the legs you can go ahead and fold them sort of downward like that, and this will allow you to rotate the missile rack and just lift it up like that for now, just to get it out of the way. Then what you want to do is, okay, you want to go ahead and transform the arms first. That and like that. That's how the instructions say it, to do it. The arms, I don't think they tab anywhere. They just sit like that. The forearms. I suppose you can just do it manually like that, but you know, you'd have to do a lot more adjusting. So just do that. Alright, just like that, you've got the lower assembly. Okay, and then what's left are the legs. You'll form the cockpit. What you want to do is go ahead and untab the oh, I forgot to mention the feet have double hinge joints which allow you to do a lot of ankle posing. So tab it in like that. There's a peg there and a peg hole right here. And these, I don't know if you can see those bits right there, those tabs are going to tab into a hole just underneath his crotch or ass or whatever. You just go ahead and collapse the leg assembly like that, and then join the feet together, and then you'll form the cockpit. Okay, and then all that's left is really to just tuck the the tank treads in, and just align everything, and there you have Hailstorm in his well, in his tank mode, rocket launching tank mode. It is loosely based off, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's an M270 MLRS. MLRS meaning I saw it in Nat Geo one time. Oh, the missile, multiple launch rocket system. There you go. They can launch this several missiles at a time, and the actual tank has 6 rockets per side, so he's got a dozen rockets. This one has 8, but it's still a close comparison. The lower part of the tank is loosely based off and derived from an M2 infantry vehicle, which is a Bradley infantry vehicle, and you combine that with the rocket launching system and you get an M270. So sort of an M270. The cockpit is a little bit too too much of a dump truck looking cockpit more than an infantry vehicle, but it is what it is. So rolls very well. Some wheels here. The kibble just barely clears it. It's not gonna roll on a smooth surface, but it's there. The cage is a little bit off. I'm not exactly sure why they made the cage perforated. They could have done it opaque. No idea why. It would have probably looked a lot better if it were just opaque or just all closed, not perforated. And as I said, you can still launch the rockets, but I guess this guy would be way too expensive to put a mechanism in it. So, just as a size comparison, here he is with Bumblebee. Really a small sized figure, even in alt mode. So there you go. This is about the amount of articulation you can do with a rocket. You can rest it that way or this way, but pretty awesome. Transformers: The Hunt for the Decepticons Deluxe Class Hailstorm. Great figure. Don't let the packaging or the other reviews or some of the pictures fool you. Decide for yourself. I mean, man, this thing is a gem of a figure that a lot of collectors have missed, I think, in my own opinion. But again, as I said, as I said in previous reviews, if you're not a fan of the movie line, not a fan of the movie toys, this thing is not going to do it for you. Just stick with the Generations or Universe or G1, whatever it is you collect. If you're a big fan of the movie line, by all means, go get this guy. Thanks for watching.